Hey, amazing level up agents. Anytime we come up with a new strategy, we want to share that with you. And this strategy is all about generating leads off your listings. And so we've all seen the sign riders, right? That you put out that say, click here or scan here or text here for more information. We kind of put a different spin on it. And so we try to make it easier on the consumer to be able to get the information, but also for us to get the lead. And so we've been printing off these sign riders for agents. And so this is just an example. Like this one just says scan for more info and pics. The second one says offering broker compensation, scan here. But what happens when they scan it? So this is on like the top of your for sale sign or just listed sign in the yard. Someone drives by, they scan it. Let's say they scan that top one. And so what we want to do is we want it to automatically create a text for the client. And then all they have to do is hit send. And then that text gets sent and it automatically sends them back information. So it sends them information about the property. Maybe it sends them the buyer broker compensation percentage, whatever, right? We want to send them information. Maybe we want to send them a link to where they can see all the pictures of the property. And so let's kind of walk through what that process looks like. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to use a CRM. So typically I'm using KV Core for this example, but you can use any CRM that has a text code option or any third-party system that uses text codes. And so what I did is I went into John's account here and I went to create a new text code. The new text code, I called it listing info 1 because I want multiple riders, right? Listing info 1, listing info 2, that kind of stuff. So I've got this called listing info 1. And I went ahead and put in there things for your interest in the address. And then I put information about the property. And I even put a BAC in here offering 3% to buyer's agent. And I put to schedule a showing. And I can put it schedule a showing or for photos, click here. So this is a link to the listing on his website. So it would link to this. They click on, see all the photos or see all the information here, or they can even schedule a showing if they want to. And so now we've got this listing here, right? You could do this with anything. So now they've got this text code created. And I even went ahead and put a hashtag and assigned it a smart number. So what this means, anybody that texts listing info 1, we will get their name and their phone number, and then they would get this reply, right? Automatic reply. And that's how the system works. So if we hit add here, and what we want to do is we want to make sure it's really easy. And so we made a scan code, a QR code. So I use QR.io. I've used that program for years. We're using this program for all of our agents. Obviously, we have 368 QR codes in here for agents that we work with. But I went ahead and created a new QR code, and I had it to automatically text. So when I go to QR code, and you can do different programs for this, guys. But I go QR code. I'm going to go to static codes down here, and I'm going to say SMS. Hit continue, put in the smart number, right? So put in the smart number code, and then we're going to put in listing info 1, that text code. So then all they do is text that and it goes. So if I hit continue, then you're good to go. So what happens when I scan this code? And so what we're going to do, guys, is I'm going to try to show you that. So we're going to pull up the QR code here. When I find it, there it is. So what happens if I'm driving by, right, and I scan this code? So let me pull up my phone real quick, and I'll put it up on the screen so you guys can see it, right? And so I'm driving by, and I'm like, oh, I want information about this property. So I click my phone, and then I literally scan this QR code. It opens up, and it automatically has listing info 1 there, right? And then I hit a send button there. And then what it's going to do is I'm going to send that listing info 1. Oh, and I forgot to create it, so that's not going to work. I just got the generic stuff because I didn't actually create the text code here. But if I hit add there, it would automatically reply back with all this information. That's the key. And so does this make sense to put riders out? And then what you're done, guys, once you sell that property, just go in here and change all this information to the new property you put it on. right? Give it a different hashtag so you know what they're coming in on. And now you have leads coming in for every single property. Does this make sense? If you have questions about this, my team can definitely help you with this. We're working on a program where, we're even printing off the riders for agents and working on QR codes. But hope this makes sense. This is a great way to generate leads pretty consistently, guys. And I'd love to see your comments below. See what you think about this whole system that will help you generate leads.